Well, good morning, everyone. It is November the something. It's a Thursday, anyway. So just pulled the stock engine out of the XM, and I do not recommend you doing this trivially. It is a freaking procedure to pull this thing out of there. This is kind of what you're left with. This is after I wipe things down and clean stuff up. So yeah, I don't even know how the heck you get oil injection lines installed in this thing. Like, it's ridiculous to try to get anything in there. Anyhow, I'm going to extend the oil injection lines longer. I've got new Tygon lines coming, and I'm going to make them way longer so that I can hook them to the pump, hook them to the motor outside when it's hanging out here, and then slide it in, because you can't tilt the motor forward enough to put the lines on once it's inside there. There's just no room. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. And then I can slide them in, tie the excess up, and should be good to go. And that way, when I remove the engine, I can actually take the engine out if I ever have to, take the lines off correctly, and not have to cut them like I did with these ones. The other thing I did is I busted the where those two screws are right there. Right here, there's the rave valve solenoid that has the air tubes hooked up to it. And I was a dumbass and completely forgot to unbolt it from there. And when I pulled the engine out, it snapped the bottom nipple off. So I have a new one of those coming. They're not easy to find because they're just discontinued. So I have a new old stock one coming. Yeah, what else do we have to do here? We just put in, I just installed the RS motor mounts, the RS 600 motor mounts. It's a completely different layout than the stock mounts. The stock mounts had two kind of like this, but different on the mag side, and then two like this on the PTO. And yeah, they're very different. So anyway, I went with the latest spec RS mounts off the parts diagram and put those in. I did not do the little rubber washers underneath. I think that would transfer a lot of vibration to the chassis. So anyhow, that should be, they're definitely stiffer. So that should be a little nicer, keeping the engine aligned. Another thing that I noticed is that the throttle bodies are actually quite dirty. So I'm going to clean all that up. Yeah, I'm going to clean all that up, and then I've got more work to do on these when I put the booster injectors in here. So they're going to go right on this bad boy here. So this whole thing gets changed out to a new part. I guess the next thing that is going to happen here is the gas tank's going to get pulled off and pulled back. And while the gas tank is off, I'm going to do the quantum fuel pump. There's nothing wrong with my fuel pump, but it's 10 years old. So I figured, let's get all the pump and filters and regulator all sorted out and new parts, and then I don't have to worry about it. We're going to change the filters, so all the filters in tank and everything. So all that's going to get changed out. While the tank is back, I'm going to get in there and pull the oil pump off, and I have a new oil pump ready to go. So it's an upgraded pump with the aluminum nipples instead of the plastic ones that are kind of prone to breaking. So I'm going to do that, program the oil number, prime the pump, and all that with the Can-Do software. So basically, this whole thing is coming like right apart, and it's good because then I can, you know, like my friend Devin, he said he just did pistons and stuff on his, and to check the coolant line that goes close to the oil tank, because his was rubbing and was wearing thin. And I just checked mine, and mine's good. I have clearance and nothing's rubbed at all, so that's good. And anyway, yeah, I'll check everything, and this should be fun. The weather's definitely cooperating. It's nice and warm, and I've got this new construction heater right there, which before I light that up, I'll be moving those rags. Anyhow, the old motor, I just pulled the head off of it, and like, honestly, it looks pretty good. There's not really, you know, there's a little bit of blow by, but the cylinders are still really good shape. The pistons are still, like, you have to measure, because you can't just go by a visual. You have to measure the skirts, you have to measure the ring end gap, you have to measure the bore. Just looking at the pistons isn't going to tell you anything unless you have a seized motor and you can see like material transfer. But everything still looks really good. Like, this motor honestly ran wicked awesome. A lot of carbon in the exhaust, and honestly, the exhaust valves after 6,500 watt kilometers, pulled them out, really not that dirty at all. So just clean those up, and I'm storing them because the new ones I have new exhaust valves that are cut to fit the cylinders. The new motor has a new stator and a new flywheel and a new pickup, so I don't have to pull anything off here. And yeah, so that's about it. This is going to get torn down, and I'm going to take a really good look at it, and it's going to get rebuilt. If the PowderFreaks 862 kit does really well, I'm not going to rebuild this year. I'm going to wait to see how that kit does, and if I really like it, I'm simply going to build this into another 862. I'll put a new crank, new water pump. We'll do, like, it's basically going to be a new crate engine essentially, but I'll rebuild it here, prep it for storage, wrap it, seal it, and then put it in a box, and it'll stay there. If I ever sell the sled, that'll go with it as a brand new engine. And if mine blows up, then, well, then I get to the pleasure of doing this again. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else in the new motor is like, there's new reeds, new intake boots, everything's, I'm not reusing anything. Just, if I want to have this thing out, I might as well do it right the first time and not screw around. So yeah, anyhow, not too much left to report. I do have the PowderFreaks, this bad boy here, going in. So this is the upgraded thermostat housing with the new colder opening thermostat, and also larger bore thermostat. So there's a little bit more flow in there. And I vacuumed out all my coolant. That's the reason why all this healthy straws on the floor, is just to absorb things so the animals don't end up licking it up. Yeah, so that'll go in. Obviously that's in a friggin' tight spot too, way back here behind the chain case. So once the gas tank is out, I'll have a lot more room to access all that stuff. So yeah, looks like a dog's breakfast, but I'm hoping that it will go fairly smoothly. And with that new construction heater, it's going to make things a lot more comfortable, because I'm so used to working in the flipping cold all the time, that even a bit of heat is just is like really luxury for me. So anyhow, that's pretty much the update for today. I'll be doing more, and I'll also do a little video just of the new engine as I've built it up. I'm apologize for not having any teardown videos or anything. It's just I keep knocking the camera over. I don't have a lot of room around here, and I keep knocking the damn camera over, and I figure rather than bust my GoPro, I'll just do an update when it's done. And I mean, it's no different than taking any other two-stroke engine apart or building anything else up. So anyhow, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Thank you.